So, welcome back. We are going to be looking in this clip at what we call the gifts of Calvary. The work of the cross is finished. It is complete. Completely finished. God so loved the world that's how he loved the world. He gave his only son on the cross for us. So what has been achieved for us on the cross? If the power of God is in the message of the cross, then what has been achieved? What is in the message? And the only way we're going to remember this, I think, is by having a mnemonic. That is to say, by listing them all just with the first letter of each word, and that makes a word in itself, so we can remember them. And the mnemonic that we're going to remember, I hope, is this. The word is pain, and then followed by an H. So if you remember the gifts as being pain H, you will always remember them. Important because they must be part of the message of the cross. I'm afraid there isn't anywhere in the Bible where the specific list is given, like there are gifts of the Holy Spirit, or the fruits of the Holy Spirit, gifts of God to the church, and so on. There are lists like that. So, but trawling through the Bible from front to back, we've been able to identify this list of 5 gifts, which we have called the gifts of Calvary. And the first one in pain H, the first word we need to remember here is peace. Our punishment is exchanged for his peace. Now the great thing is the word exchange here. Our theologians call what happened on the cross the great exchange, because on the cross, coming before the cross in prayer, we can actually exchange something rotten in our lives that we don't like, that's holding us up, and we can exchange it for some goodness that is in the life of Jesus. He died for us to give us these things. And the first one of the great exchange is that we can exchange our punishment for his peace. Now, our punishment is due to us because we have been so disobedient. Mankind has turned his back on God generation after generation. So there is punishment due to all of us. And that punishment has all been taken out on Jesus. It's all been taken by Jesus on the cross. So we're not to be punished anymore. So it's different, but we don't... this exchange is not to get peace in our own lives just because we're being pestered by unruly teenage grandchildren or something. Yeah, or disease, or the worries of financial disasters, or it's not that sort of peace. It's the peace of knowing that God's punishment has been done. It won't come to us. It is, as Christians, it is just a knowledge that we are accepted. The blood of acceptance has been shed for us. So our punishment can be exchanged for his peace, the peace of God which passes all understanding. Now, the second one is abundance. Our poverty can be exchanged for his abundance. Abundance, that's the A in pain, the second letter. Abundance. Now, that's easier to get at, really, because, there is poverty in the world, and we are talking about poverty of money, but we're also talking about poverty of a lot of other things, like relationships and spiritual health and so on. There's a lot of poverty around in the world, poverty of education and a lot of things, but it's way back in the book of Deuteronomy that God's blessings or curses were placed on the children of Israel, depending on whether they were obedient or not obedient, and we know that we've pretty well failed to keep God's commandments in our lives. We've pretty well gone astray, a lot of us. So poverty is an outworking of that. I mean, take, for example, financial poverty. I don't think there's any reason for any financial poverty in the world at all. It's only because I want to hang on to what I've got that you don't have what you need. It's a bit like that, really. However, dire poverty was a threat, something that would happen to us if we steered our kingdom away from God's kingdom, which is what we do. And that looking at the cross, you see, dire poverty, want of all things is another way the Bible expresses it, usually defined as being hunger and thirst, clothing, money. It's really in those areas. Now, you see, Jesus was hungry when he died. He hadn't eaten for about 24 hours. He was thirsty. He himself said, "I thirst." He didn't have a stitch of clothing in the world. The soldiers had stripped him of everything and cast lots and separated them up amongst themselves. They'd taken all his clothes. He didn't have anything. And of course he had zero money. Now, you can't actually get poorer than that. So it can be said of the cross that in the moment of Jesus' death, he exhausted the curse of poverty on the world. So now there's no need for it. Unless I'm greedy, you starve, as it were, because I'm greedy, well, that's my sin. But there is no reason anymore, if we all came to God and came to the cross and exchanged our poverty for his abundance, because Jesus had come to bring us an abundant life.